What is going on, everyone? Welcome back to Tease Time. I'm TJ. Thank you for tuning in. Today we're going to get into getting some plumbing done. I have my water pump and I have a accumulator tank. The purpose of the accumulator tank is to keep like the water from surging, like when you have the faucet on. Like if the water pump is cutting in and out, this will help combat that. So we have that. We have a water pump. I have some PEX line here. This is 1/2 inch. It's sharkbite. I'm using push connectors. I'm gonna use this for the hot water. I'm gonna use this for like our freshwater tank, and then I'm gonna use this for like if I have to hook up to like a hose or something. I'm gonna use that line for that. And we're just gonna use the different colors so we know like where everything is coming and going. And the reason why I'm doing this right now is just because I want to wire up like the water pump. I'm in the middle of like wiring like everything up here, just getting stuff situated, so I need to know like its resting in place so I could get like the electrical lines like the exact length. So I don't want it like too much extra electrical wires in the wall. I wanted to kind of just run it like exact. So I need to get that mounted, and just kind of just helps with like the placement of like the water lines. If I just drill the hole that I have to drill, I'm thinking somewhere like between this beam, but what I'm thinking that the water lines, they're gonna run like the shower will be here, but like it'll run behind the shower. So I need to figure out like exactly where to drill the hole for that. And this would be hidden like once the shower is installed. You won't be able to see like the hole right here, but like the hole's got to come through, and then there's gonna be the one water line coming in to feed the hot water heater, and then there's gonna be a hot to come out. And then we also need to build like a shut-off valve. So like if I need to drain this, I could just disconnect the water all together. So that way I could like drain the water heater, like if I got to replace that. Or if we're going to put it in storage or anything like that, if it's going to be like winter months, you don't want like water to be inside the hot water tank. The freezing water will cause that to crack. So that's just a precautionary measure. It's probably cold. It's just something like you should do. Just make life easy, even if you have to do repairs. Having like a couple shutoffs within the system will help. So I plan on having the 2 lines are going to end up coming through the floor. We're not going to do that today, but we are going to try to get our accumulator tank, our water pump. We're going to get the lines ran, somewhat going to that. And then also it's going to have to feed like the shower head. And then also it's going to feed like our sink that's going to be over here where the counter will eventually live. So we just have to like branch off of that using T's. But I plan on having like the 2 lines, the freshwater tank, and then like the hose coming in through the floor, and to meet and to feed each other. And I plan on putting like a one-way check valve for the feed for like a water hose, water spigot. I want to make sure I have like a check valve so like that doesn't get backflow like when I'm feeding the system and stuff like that. So that's what we have to do today. We're drilling a hole. We're gonna feed the hose to the hot water heater. We're gonna put our valves, our shutoff valves in, get the water pump mounted along with the accumulator tank mounted, and then that will be it for today. Just want to get a start of like I got some supplies that I'm waiting for, just like I finish like this bench and stuff like that. I just picked that up. That's more maple plank, so I can do like face frames for like cabinets and stuff like that. So I'm just kind of like doing a little bit like in between, like while I'm waiting for stuff to show up. So when that stuff shows up, we're gonna get going. I got paint. I don't know if it's any good anymore. I had it for a while. The lagging is gonna be my countertop, or like a little modern day TV tray. That's the easy way to describe that. That's what that is. So right now we just got to figure out the location where I'm gonna drill the hole. Get the hole drilled. I think that's gonna probably be like the most difficult part. And then I have a bunch of fittings in this bag. Whoa. So these are all the sharkbite fittings. This is what I'm talking about. Like when I talk about the water spigot coming in, this will be a feed for that. So like you'll be able to like hook a hose up to there, and then it'll be able to feed the water system. So that's that. And then also to fill the fresh water tank when I eventually have it, that's a fill for that. And that's just like the vent for like when you're filling the tank for it to bleed off. So this door needs to be installed eventually one day also. Some cutters just to cut the the pecs, and then just multiple little fittings, shut-offs, various fittings, cutters, caps. But I'm using a sharkbite, and I do have a tool in here, I believe, like to make it easy. It's like a disconnect tool somewhere. Oh, we have our chafing little kit, our reamer, a deburring tool for like when we cut these holes. Like we're gonna show you, I'm gonna show you that with the install process. But where is there it is. This is the tool right here. Let me open that up. This is disconnect tongs for the hose fittings. Like you put it on, and then it's supposed to be able to like do a quick disconnect using this tool right here. So yeah, what is that? PEX, blah blah blah. Disconnect tong. There's that, and I think they're also, there's like another style tool that like goes over and slides on them, but like this should be easy. There's like, I'm not using like copper like piping and stuff like that, so I don't have to worry about like the brazing process of just connecting the joints. This is pretty much cut, deburr, and then just push it together, and that should seal everything by itself just with that. So it's just, it seems quick and easy, and I got all this stuff before inflation, so I got reasonable prices when I got all this stuff. But I just need to put all these fittings together of how I'm going to run it. But like there's copper, but I'm just talking about like the copper lines themselves, like these fittings, like these, this is brass, but like the lines themselves, I'm not using like copper, or like I'm just talking about copper in general, but like there's some brass. And make sure if you're using this for like drinking water, like it's like for potable water, like think about like if you're going to plan on using like the tanks like to drink from, we have to figure out like filtration eventually also. And yeah, and just make sure everything you're using is like food grade or is potable. You want safe stuff, even the Teflon, like the Teflon tape I have here, like you have to use that for like on the fittings for the hot water heater. Make sure you use food safe everything. Just keep that in mind, food safe. Even if you don't plan on it, you never know, but just food safe to be on the safe side just in case. Like everything should be potable. Like you don't want lead and stuff in like your plumbing if you plan on drinking it. Even if you want to like bathe and you're gonna cook with it, just think of you know, your quality of life, health. I don't know, but let me get this stuff sorted. We're gonna figure out a hole, drill a hole, and start getting stuff run and connected, and we should get this, well, semi-finished, somewhat finished today. Right, before we get into connecting the water heater, I want to show you how to actually like, well, you cut it, just try to get the cut as straight as possible, and then use the deburring tool, and then they just push in. So I already have this little piece cut, like some scrap piece. You take this, you take a fitting, put this down somewhere. You cut, you deburr, or you should look something like that. And then you take your fitting, you take it, and then you just push. And that's it. So it's easy, it's quick. I'm just gonna go ahead and just start assembling everything, but I just wanted to show you how to actually, like, it goes together. It's pretty easy. I don't want to jinx myself, but like the most important part of this is just make sure you actually like try to get the cut as straight as possible in deburr. Yeah, so cut, deburr, push together, and you'll have a finished product like this. So let me go assemble, get these valves put onto the water heater, get that stuff finished, and then we can start doing this wall right here with the water pump, and then throw like some T's and stuff. And I'm just gonna cap off like a bunch of the lines that we're not gonna like be running right now, but just so I can get the water pump situated, get that wired up, so that's done out of the way. And then everything else is just getting to the point where it's just plug and play. You just gotta connect the dots. So yeah. Oh yeah, and then how to remove a line once it's in there. You take your removal tool like so. There's two different sizes. There's a big end and there's a small end. The big end goes under the fitting like so. The smaller end goes up top. You take it, you squeeze, it pushes down to unlock it, and then it pops out like so. So it all just seems a little too easy, but we're gonna continue with the water heater. And bada boom, bada bing, it's in, it's installed, it's as finished as I wanted it to be for today. We have our water pump installed, we have our accumulator tank installed, And let me actually just start from the rear where I started doing the plumbing. All right, so for our hot water heater, we have our cold side. This is going into the hot water, and then it'll turn this cold water into hot water going through the red lines right there. And then we do have our shutoffs. This is for like winterization. For normal operation, this is open, this is open. This would be closed right there. So open, open, closed. That's normal operation. To winterize, you would shut this off, you would shut this off, and you will open this, and you will drain out your hot water heater, and then like it'll just be bypassing this. And if you're using like antifreeze, it'll go through this system and not go into the hot water heater. And if I do need to remove like these valves, like it's nice to, with the shark bites, that these like swivel within themselves, so I can unscrew this right here like from the shut off and take that off without having to like disconnect here. I'll just have to unscrew that, and I could take that stuff off, and it could just drain like the little excess water or whatever that's in this line. So for that, we go from there, and I mounted it to the wall just to kind of take a little pressure off of like these valves right here, these outlets, the inlet and the outlet, just so it doesn't like shear off. And I just wanted to kind of like help that, so like I don't have any cracks or anything in there to make any issues with leakage. So we have this mounted to the wall here, here, and then also here, and then we have it going through the wall. And I plan on putting like wood planks going along this wall right here. We're gonna do wood planks, probably like some 2x4s, so that will give it a nice little gap. Probably it'll come out to about like right there. So it'll be a nice little air gap behind like the shower, so I'll be able to have these lines, and if I do need to replace these, it'll be easy to slide them through this hole without having to like take the shower out. I'm just thinking about like just easy access, like if anything does happen, if I have to replace lines or leaks, it's just easy to get to. And then from there, we come out through the hole on the other side, and I put these T's in. So for the T's, we're gonna have like for our cold water and our hot water, I have these blocked off for now, because this is gonna be for like the sink eventually when that gets built. But like I have all the lines, so it's just pretty much connect the dots whenever I get to like the sinks themselves. It's just connecting the dots. So I did the block offs just to keep dirt and dust and stuff from blowing in there when I still have like sawing and stuff to do. So it's just nice to get everything like somewhat situated, so I can get like a visual on like the layout. All right, so we have our T's. They come in. These are going to our sinks. This will be going to the shower. This is going into the hot water heater. This is getting pumped in. So I do need to also, eventually when I decide on like the shower fixtures, I'm gonna have to split this, put a T, and that will run to our mix for our shower for like a hot cold mixture. And then from the hot cold mixture, it's gonna go up to like the shower head that's gonna live up there eventually. So I do have this capped off. This is like a hot water going into the shower, so that's blocked off. And then coming down, we're going backwards into the system. All right, so the water will be fed from like our fresh water tank, will be fed up through the water pump right here. I do need to throw 90 on here. I just have this blocked off for now. But when I do have the line coming in through the hole that's filled with foam at the moment, it'll come up to like a 90 degree in there. It'll come pushing through, and it'll shoot and feed all the cold water side. And then on this side, there's a check valve right here. So when I have like my the city water, or I have like the spigot like hooked up, like the hose fitting hooked up, this will feed into the system, and it'll keep it from back pressure. So let's say like if the water pump is running, it's feeding the system, it's only going to go that way. The check valve right here is going to keep the water from shooting out and emptying our tanks. So it's actually blocking the flow of water going this way. That's what the little arrow is for. So that's the flow of water. So when we have our city water, our hose hooked up, it'll come up through here, and it'll feed the whole system and operate like we have an endless tank of endless supply of water. So yeah, so that's it. I wanted to just get this in place so I could see like the electrical, so I could finish running this. I just gonna run the wire like down and just get it nice and clean, and connect all this stuff. And then the hole right there also has to get a ground and power going through it for our hot water heater, and then the signal wires for our hot water heater control. So that's what I'm gonna do for that. And then also I'm gonna throw I have like heating pads that I'm gonna put like on the lines and on a tank that'll keep stuff from freezing up. I'm gonna run a line to the hot water heater on this side and just connect it to like the line like right here. So that will help like do a little bit of something, you know, just to try to keep stuff from freezing up if it's like below 0 temperatures or below freezing temperatures under 32. We'll worry about that. But yeah, we're making progress, we're getting along. I have like extra fittings. Contemplating if I want to throw some shutoffs in there, but I think all the shutoffs that I'll really need will be for there, and then also for our probably put some shutoffs right here when I get the sinks installed. There'll probably be 2 more shutoffs right there, just so like if I have to do anything like with the sink fixtures or anything like that, like I can just shut that off. And then the same applies for the shower head. The feed for the hot cold water mix, I'll probably put a shutoff on that also. So that's probably like 4 more shutoffs that I'll need. And I think I probably have 1, 2, 3, 4, I think about 5. So we should be good on that. But yeah, it's coming along now. Everything's just at the point where it's just like a little bit here and there just to connect the dots. But I just want to say thank you for tuning in. Thank you for watching. Thank you for following along on the progress of this van build. It's been taking a little bit, but we're getting there. We're getting done. I'm trying to get this thing done this year, sometime this year. Who knows when? But until next Wednesday, obstacles are bound to happen. Just gotta learn how to ride the wave. Peace, TJ.